Hey guys, welcome to the ATP project. You're with your hosts Steve and Nick.
How are you, Nick?
I'm good. How are you,
There
Steve?
you are.
Wait. There we go.
Now you see my wrinkles.
Oh, and mine too.
Oh shit, it's bad. But today we're talking about some really. This is what we love as naturopaths. It's the D word.
Yes.
Oop, that didn't sound right.
Yes.
Detoxification.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we love. We thrive on it. And it's gone through a lot of evolution over the years, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
I remember the days where we used to starve people and water fast them and
juice and all those things.
And then you realise, hang on, why are we taking the fibre out of fruits and vegetables just to juice it? Because fibre helps with detox. You literally poop.
Exactly.
Oh, we'll put that back in. And then we work out the gallbladder needs fats and say
protein for detox, liver detox. And it's like all these things that we've removed.
Oh, but it's all been and we've got, look, it's mainly about the 5 top tips that we've got, but I've got a few scientific papers here.
Yeah. So we are going to do our 5 top detox tips, and we've got 5 each. We've done this before. I don't know yours. You don't know mine. So we're just going to just bang out the ones that we think are our top 5. But we've got a little bit of stuff on detox first. There's a bit of contention around detox. You know, people roll their eyes at detoxes and things like that, which I kind of do as well. And I don't go for the whole let's do a 12-week detox and juice fast. And I don't go for any of that sort of thing. So we'll explain the sort of things that we think would be good for detox.
And you know, it's a detox can be many different forms, and that's why there's so many different ways of talking about this. All I've got is a few studies showing does it work. So, and I've got a study here titled "The Effects of a Short-Term Detoxification Program in Disease-Free Individuals." So they've got symptoms like we all have, and what they found was after doing a detox, and we'll explain what a detox is, a statistically significant 47% reduction in the metabolic screening questionnaire scores resulted, and it improved. And what they did, they measured caffeine clearance in the liver, so how well the liver's detoxifying, because you can take caffeine, measure it and all that, and it increased liver function by 23%.
That's pretty high.
So they felt better, and you could measure it. So they picked on the liver here because the liver is a massive organ on the right side of your body, was it? Yeah. And it detoxifies.
Yeah.
And if you see animals that eat a lot of crap, like sharks, they got massive livers.
Yeah.
Massive livers.
Yeah.
And we've got massive livers because humans eat a lot of crap.
We do.
And speaking of liver, the next paper I've got here is called A Modulation of Metabolic Detoxification Pathways Using Foods and Food-Derived Components, a scientific review. And it goes through all the pages here of all the agents that have been found to upregulate enzymes that are involved in detoxification. And these are the cytochrome P450 enzymes in this page, and it goes on forever. And I can pick it, and then you've got these different CYP2, CYP1, CYP4, all these different liver enzymes, and they've all been tested in vivo, which is in people, or in vitro, which is in a test tube. You look at the cells. Most of these are in vivo in people. And so these are all good foods. There's green trees, cruciferous vegetables, turmeric.
Green trees.
Could I say green tea?
Green tea. Green trees. Well, you can eat some green trees if you wanted to.
Yeah, and even fish oil helps with detoxification. I found that interesting. Rosemary, of course, garlic, all these things, resveratrol, kale. These are all these, and there's too many to mention. There really is too many to mention. And we've just picked our top few here, and it just goes on for pages. Oh, there's one I picked.
Oh.
Yeah, there's one in there that I picked particularly. But the way it works is these upregulate a thing in your liver called NRF2, which is an enzyme in the liver that's great for longevity and great for detoxification. So it just says it's like another thing for detoxification is if you get toxic, your body tries to detoxify.
Yes.
And this is healthy ways to upregulate that enzyme.
Yes.
So really cool stuff. Big study.
It's really cool.
Loads of references. It's funny. It's one of the papers that have 209 references.
Well, it's just a few references.
Just a few references.
We'll put a link in for that one if anyone wants to look at it.
Oh, yeah. And there's another paper here that I'll quickly run through these. And this is, you and I both like this picture on page 2.
Yeah.
Holding up to the camera.
Yeah, liver detox pathways.
Yeah, look at that.
Phase 2, all the nutrients that you need.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to talk a little bit about.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I won't spoil you. But it actually shows you what is involved in detoxification in the liver. So a very famous picture that is very well tested and all that sort of stuff. So I love that. And basically it's saying toxins are usually fat soluble, and then they come out of the fat and you have to stick an amino acid to it. I'm really simplifying this.
Yeah.
So it becomes water soluble, so your body can eliminate through the liver, kidneys and bowels and all that sort of stuff, and your skin.
Yes.
And your lungs.
Yep.
So yeah, these are good. So all right. Okay. So if someone comes to you, Nic, because you're if you Google Nicole Brown naturopathy, you're literally a naturopath, and you are. I don't know how many detoxes you've put people through, 50 billion.
Yeah.
But what are some of the signs you look for in clinic for someone who needs to do a detox?
So someone might need a detox, might just, maybe not eating well, exposed to some chemicals, things they're getting a little bit toxic. Low energy or fatigue is a big one as well, feeling a little bit of a toxic burden.
Yep.
Bad breath or body odour. Starting to exhume sort of odours and things like that. That can be bad. And that can be because perhaps liver stagnation, things like that, maybe constipation, and we'll talk about organs of elimination, but not being able to eliminate through the regular channels. So your body has to get it out somehow. So getting it out in your, through your lungs, through your skin, that sort of thing. So that's sort of a bit of an odour. Low moods or emotional imbalance, that sort of thing can be part of it. More susceptibility to infections. Oh, yeah. So poor wound healing as well. Fluid retention, brain fog, muscle stiffness, puffy eyes or puffy face as well. Headaches, skin conditions, skin pallor, which is sort of that pale,
sickly
looking skin. Digestive symptoms is a big one, obviously. Weight loss resistance. There's a lot. There's a lot of different things.
So that sounds like everyone.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it could be other things. But having a high toxic burden is a problem. Now you might think, but I eat pretty clean because therefore I'm not exposed to toxins. What if you breathe?
That's right, exactly. And we all do that.
Well, do we? Yeah. Because you came in the room here and took a deep breath and came.
Take a deep breath because someone in the room is sick today.
Yeah,
so we want to get. No,
it's not me.
It's
not you.
It's not me either. Yes.
Dobbing him in.
Dear. So. We do have organs of elimination. So when we talk about detox, and that's why I don't go with the whole, let's do the juice fast once a year and things like that. Our body's detoxifying continually. Like it's designed to detoxify all of the things that we take in. And we have organs of elimination. So, and detoxification. So as you said, the lungs is one. So the lungs are always detoxifying. So we're breathing in things. So when we expel our breath, we're also detoxifying things that we've breathed in. The liver. Which, as you said, one of the biggest organs of elimination, almost important organs of elimination.
Yep.
Really, really important. So many people have liver stagnation. They have sort of more phase 2 detox issues than phase 1, which we can talk about.
We're going to talk about that,
But so liver and the kidneys also, they're really important for detoxification. Absolutely. They filter waste from the blood. The bowels, obviously. If you're not pooping every day, you're not eliminating, you're not getting rid of those.
It's a big detox pathway, isn't it?
Huge detox pathways. And, constipation can cause recirculation of these toxins and things, and then that can create hormonal imbalances and other issues. The lymphatic system, I think people forget about that. So it regulates immunity, it fights infection, it helps to transport toxins and waste out of the body. A lot of people do have quite stagnant lymph as well. And that doesn't have a pump to move it around like the heart to move blood around it. We have to move to get our lymphatic system working.
Contract our muscles to move the lymph, because there's one-way valves in it, and when you contract a muscle, it pumps it.
Exactly. So we've got to move around.
I mean, that's a lot of pathways.
So there's some of the organs of elimination. So we have to make sure that all those are functioning well and all those pathways are working quite well on a daily basis. So, and then, on top of that, we can then do other things to actually push that along. So, and
that's what the whole podcast is about, isn't it?
Our tips come in, Steve.
And do we want to talk about phase 1, phase 2 liver detox? Or?
Yeah, we can talk about phase 1 and phase 2 liver detox. Well, do you want me to go first with my first tip?
Yeah, do your tip. I want to get the tips because I've got mine here. And if you've picked, honestly,
we don't know. We literally don't know.
And you don't know. I actually put this on a secret bit of paper.
Secret scrill, I know.
The videographer, Matt, said that this looks like a love note for you. You know, in school, remember you used to pass the thing to the chicks or guys?
Yeah,
it's like...
Yeah, I would say that when we were at school, you'd get a note saying, the next person that reads this, I'm going to date. No, it's just back in the day.
That sounded like something.
That was back in the innocent days before there was phones and there was notes. We used to write things down.
I know.
Send notes, send letters. All
I know. I used to send letters.
No, we don't do any of that anymore.
I had to write this down. I couldn't remember how to write. I was doing a lot of typing this morning, and it's like I'm getting good at that.
Yeah.
But writing, I'm shit at.
No, see, I don't even type anymore. I've got the voice thing.
I do it with my
just
phone.
talk to it and it types for me.
Yeah.
How bad's that?
I messaged my mother back last night by doing that.
Oh, did you?
She's over in Japan. I told you, and I'm thinking I've got to tell her about the photos and blah 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 blah. And I looked at them. It's perfectly accurate.
Was it?
And of course, everything's spelled correctly.
Yeah.
Because it knows how to spell better than this is.
Technology.
Technology. What's your first tip? I want to get to it. I honestly don't know.
My first tip is okay, so it's phase 1 and phase 2 liver detox nutrients. So I've gone a little bit kind of different maybe than you. I'm not doing like one single nutrient. I'm actually doing a whole for the liver. So we want to focus on the liver and make sure we're getting the nutrients in there that we need for phase 1 and phase 2 liver detoxification.
There's millions.
There's millions. So phase 1, as you said, phase 1 sort of starts with metabolizing all the different the drugs and toxins and stuff. So it sort of sweeps them all up. Mm-hmm. That's what phase 1 does. But gets them all up, uses the cytochrome P450 enzymes to help to do that. And then it gets them ready for phase 2.
Yes.
So they're sitting there. And then what usually we see a lot with people is phase 1 is generally quite fast.
Yep.
And phase 2 is very slow.
Very.
In a lot of people. So what happens is they'll only sit there for so long and then the body will start to recirculate them.
Yep.
And that's where you can have this toxic overload and things like that. So you want to make sure that your phase 1 is good, and your phase 2 is really good as well. So phase 1, you need nutrients, so you need your B vitamins. You need some glutathione, you need magnesium, you need your antioxidants, so your vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, and some myristicil is really good as well. For
really good one.
Yeah. So that's
almost made my list, that one.
Did it? I love it.
Didn't though?
I use it for, we talked about it yesterday in the bone podcast. Very good for bone.
Oh, yeah, it is too.
Good for, liver. It's phytoestrogenic as well for women.
It's got some really good stuff to it.
Yeah, it's really good. I love it. Yeah, I do use it a bit. And then phase 2.
Yeah.
So phase 2 is, like I said, the one that we need to focus on more. And that's when these products are all then bound up and conjugated, ready to be excreted in the bowel. So really important to have good phase 2 liver detox. There's lots of different steps in this phase. 4
categories of steps, but there's major different steps. Are you going to go through the 4 steps?
Yes, glutathione conjugation.
You are going to go through the 4 steps.
So that helps to process heavy metals, lots of other different toxins and things like that. So for that you need glutathione, selenium, alpha-lipoic acid, it's a very good antioxidant, N-acetylcysteine, we love N-acetylcysteine, vitamin C, milk thistle, and turmeric, they also help enhance glutathione. Right. So I do use glutathione a lot for this. This definitely helps with this.
Good.
Amino acid conjugation.
Yep.
So that uses amino acids to help to bind toxins. This is where protein is very important. And that's where a lot of people have either low protein or maybe they're plant-based and they're not getting the right profile of proteins in there. They can have problems with their liver detox pathways, phase 2, because they're not getting those proteins in there. So helps to bind xenobiotics, pesticides, things like that, this pathway. So glycine, taurine, glutamine, arginine and ornithine, really important for this pathway.
So there's all the amino acids?
Amino acids in protein. So methylation, we all know about what methylation is. Helps process drugs, body chemicals, hormones, neurotransmitters, histamines, homocysteine, that type of thing. Methionines, these are the
That's another amino acid.
Methionine, SAMe. We need folate, B12, B6, B2, choline, magnesium, zinc. We need a lot of nutrients for this pathway, so that's very important. And then sulfation. Pathway.
It's the fourth
one. So metabolizes toxins, drugs, things that we make in our own body that can become toxic. We've got to get rid of those. Hormones, neurotransmitters, bile acids, those types of things. Chemicals, so xenoestrogens.
Yep.
Talked about xenoestrogens before. So we need sulfur-containing amino acids.
More amino acids,
Yeah. So cysteine and methionine.
Yep.
We need molybdenum. B2, magnesium, taurine, a retinoic acid we need, just sort of a derivative of vitamin A.
Vitamin A, sure.
Yeah, so that's that one. And then acetylation.
Yep.
So that helps detoxify drugs and things.
Yep.
So acetyl-CoA, B2, B5, vitamin C for that one. And I'm running through them really quickly. And then glucuronidation is the last one. And that helps to metabolize drugs, fungal toxins, pollutants, bile acids, bilirubin. So B vitamins, magnesium, and glucuronic acid.
Holy mackerel.
So that's all phase 2.
Yeah, I know.
So there's a lot goes on in phase 2. So we can see why possibly some people really struggle with a phase 2 detox. So if we're talking supplements, then we want to make sure we've got protein in. Then we're talking about diet. Protein is super important. That's why when you people do detoxes, like I'm going to take out all my meats, all my animal products. Yeah. Well, you're taking away a lot of those amino acids that are really important for this.
And taurine is animal-based amino acid.
Yeah.
The sulfation one and the bile one.
Yeah. So really important to make sure you've got your good quality amino acid profile in there. B vitamins, obviously, really, really important as well. Magnesium, zinc. As I said, I put glutathione in there, and usually trace minerals as well. So you've got your zinc, molybdenums, things like that in there as well. Vitamin C and St. Mary's thistle. So they'd be in a supplement sort of little package, and that'll sort of cover most of that. And if we're looking at diet, so obviously we want to get most of these nutrients through diet if we can. Cruciferous vegetables are really, really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you want to make sure you're getting all those in there. Onion, garlic, so those sulfurous type foods. Nuts and seeds for your zincs and things like that, and magnesium. All your vegetables, so colourful vegetables, your oranges for your vitamin A, orange-coloured vegetables for vitamin A. You want to get, your greens, your yellows, the full spectrum, because then you're getting all your nutrients in there as well. Eggs, your choline, that type of thing.
Yeah,
folate in there, sulfur. Fish, meat, chicken. So if you're if you're animal-based or eating animal food, so any of those animal-based foods. And then some grains if you like to go that way. If I'm going to do grains for people, I generally do gluten-free grains and things like quinoa and brown rice possibly, things like that, because they have the Bs in there as well. So making sure you get a nice balanced whole food diet will cover a lot of the nutrients that you need for your phase 2 liver detox. So that's my tip 1. It's really supporting the liver in those detox pathways.
It's so complex. It's like all I think of the day is in 1995 when we used to put people on detoxes, we'd just give them water for a week.
Yes.
They get really sick and we wonder why. Oh, healing crisis.
Yeah.
No, you're actually making people sick.
I love the healing crisis. Yeah. Yeah, that whole healing crisis.
I'm actually now. You didn't know these top 5s, right?
No, I haven't seen them.
But my top one is kind of a really interesting one.
Yeah.
That is sort of, I don't know. It's more of a long-term detox process.
Okay.
And you might not be surprised, or you might be surprised.
Right.
The first one. Ready for this one?
Yeah.
Exercise.
Oh my God, Steve! That's
do you want to know why?
You.
Do you want to know why? For detox.
Yes.
Screw your cardiovascular health. Screw all that stuff.
Yeah.
Detox.
Yeah.
Okay. What happens when you exercise? The first thing is you breathe heavier.
Yeah.
Get rid of more stuff. You sweat.
Yeah.
Skin. Okay. Your bowels move better.
Yeah.
Okay. You get better movement. Guess what else moves? Your lymph.
Yeah.
Because you're clenching your muscles and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you're actually starting to metabolize things, and your metabolism goes up.
Yes.
So and you also burn fat, and guess where most of your toxins are stored?
Your fat cells.
Fat cells.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know it was perfect what you said, because that
was like almost we set it up perfectly, didn't we?
And honestly, that's my number 1. It's not number 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah. And that's covering most of those elimination pathways.
Yeah.
Yeah, lymphatic, your bowels, your lungs, your kidneys, because you're also drinking more, so you're flushing. Yeah, that's brilliant, Steve.
Mental health.
Yep.
So you're more attuned. You got more energy. I mean, it's a really, I put that as number 1 because I didn't think you'd pick that as number 1.
No,
I've got other
I
stuff
haven't actually picked that at all. I went a little bit different than what I thought I was going to go with.
I've got the next 4 for me are different. I won't get to them, but yeah, they're more traditional detox things. But the first one, I thought, don't forget exercise.
Yeah.
I know I harp on about every bloody podcast, but it's really important for detox.
It's important for so many things, and detox is a big part of that. And, there's a reason why when you're actually moving and using your body, it's actually activating all these elimination pathways, because we are designed to move.
Yeah.
And that's why, our body is set up the way it is.
Exactly.
Physiologically.
I love it.
Yeah. That's a good one, Steve.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, what's your secret? That was a big first one you had.
I know, it was a big first one.
That
was my biggest one. This next one's a very little one. And this is coming from being my herbalist brain, herbalist brain on. So, and this is something that you can do at home.
Right.
I mean, we can do the liver detox stuff at
Yeah,
home
of
too,
course.
obviously with diet, so making sure you're eating well. A liver, a kidney detox tea, super easy.
Right.
Yeah, super easy. So you can go out and get all of these herbs anywhere,
Yeah.
make up your own tea, and then you're supporting that sort of liver and kidney pathways. So my favourites,
Yeah.
dandelion root. You don't tell me you've got that in there. Oh, no, Steve. All right, so I've got a few. So you might have listed some of these off. So this is very good for
believe it.
bile flow.
Yep.
Stimulates bile flow, which obviously we need bile flow
Yep.
to help with detoxification. Dandelion leaf. So dandelion root helps with liver, the bile and all that sort of thing. And then the dandelion leaf is more kidney sort of tonic and diuretic. So it's working on the kidneys as well. So the root and the leaf, globe artichoke, one of my favourites for bile flow.
Yeah.
So that's a really good one. Peppermint.
Peppermint,
So that stimulates bile flow and production as well.
Very good for gallbladder disease.
Very good for gallbladder. And cleavers is another one of my favourites for kidney. So kidney and lymphatic tonic, basically.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. So you can go out and get all these. I don't recommend ever getting a tea bag. Like, don't, those liver detox tea bags.
No.
One, they're tiny. You're not going to get much in it. Two, they use old herbs and they're yuck. So I go out and get some fresh, so dried herbs, go somewhere that has a good turnover of these things so they're quite fresh, they're not been sitting for years, and make up your own. So, maybe get 100 grams of each, get a big container or a jar and mix them all in together. And then I recommend putting a couple of really big teaspoons in a pot.
Yeah.
And then simmering the pot so I boil it and then I simmer it for about 30 minutes. I put
Steep
quite
it
a
up,
lot of water in it and it becomes quite concentrated and it does get quite strong, but it's more medicinal that way. So it's what we call more of a decoction, rather than just a brewed tea. And then you can add a little bit of honey in there or something if you really can't stand the flavour, because all of these liver herbs are quite bitter, and the reason they're quite bitter is because it is what helps to activate that detox pathway. So so that's my tip number 2, make up your own detox tea.
It's so funny. Like tip number 2 for me, and I'm not joking, is dandelion root.
Oh, there you go.
Now there's a reason. Now I've got different reasons, but they're just as good.
Yeah.
When I was studying 1995, a first year herbal medicine, we had a herbalist called Dr. Ray Teal. He graduated in America, so he's doctor from today. And he said that's his favourite herb by a mile. He said there's not many tinctures he makes up without dandelion root. And we became, as students, first-year students, obsessed by its actions and traditionally and all this sort of stuff. And at the time I was dating someone called Kelly, and she was wanted to, what can I do? And I said, well, look, get some dandelion root, coffee and tea, and you can make it a coffee and all that. Yeah. And I said, this is what this guy is the best thing since sliced bread. Anyway, her favourite song, and this is relative. This is relevant. Her favourite song was Brown Eyed Girl because she had brown eyes.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, so she went on stuff and enjoyed it and loved it and drank it like 2 or 3 times a day.
I know exactly what you're going to say about her eyes.
Her eyes?
They turned
green, then blue.
Yeah.
It cleared up the bilirubin.
And that's really interesting. Sorry, I completely cut you off there, Steve.
Yeah, go for it.
So there is people that have brown eyes, like naturally brown eyes, but there are a lot of people that have brown, my eyes are green. I actually have green eyes, but from a distance they look hazel. And years ago, before I was a naturopath, I had sludge and I had quite brown eyes. And it's liver sludge, it's liver stagnation. And I've seen it so many times where they clear their liver and their eyes change colour. Yeah, sure. That brown goes.
Her eyes went from brown to basically green-blue. You got to remember, green is just a little bit of yellow covering the blue eye, because there's only blue and brown eyes.
Yeah.
And if you did iridology like you and I did, we were looking in people's eyes all day, every day. Yeah. There's only 2 eye colours. Yeah. And hers, and I looked in her eyes and... Because we did iridology, so I had an iridology torch and thing, and I said, your eyes are blue. And of course, then over the next few months, it didn't take long. Yeah. They turned blue. Yeah. Her father thought she was taking drugs.
Well, she was taking
She kind of was taking drugs. But she felt a lot better and lost a bit of weight.
Yeah.
Just felt better, just drinking this stuff. And, it's not the magic weight loss tea that we're all looking for. No. But her eyes changed colour. Yeah. So ever since then, I've been obsessed by this herb. And it's like... if you want to look at the medical literature, I think you'll find more on Silybum marianum, milk thistle. But dandelion has this place in my heart.
I love it as a herbalist, and we use it a lot in herbalism and natural medicine. Yeah. I love a dandelion root. I think it's fantastic.
It's
my first go-to.
Dr. Ray Teal, and he was the first guy that I saw him first sort of week or 2 of naturopathy as a patient. And he said, your arthritis is that's got to do because I had terrible AS, as people may have ankylosing spondylitis, arthritis. And he said, it's all to do with your gut. He looked in mine. I went, this sounds like a bit weird. I didn't believe it. So I went back to my doctor. He didn't believe it. Didn't take the herbs he gave me. He thought it was just a bit of, my back's sore because it's my back.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with my gut? And so anyway, it's sort of like that's, but then my girlfriend at the time got me to change my diet, took these herbs, my arthritis cleared up. And it's like, no, arthritis is incurable. Back in those days, incurable.
Yeah.
My arthritis, by the age of 40, you'll be stooped over and all this shit, and I'm 55 now and I'm still fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know when it's going to kick in. I don't have any pain.
No, we're waiting for it.
No. So I mean, that guy who soon after I graduated passed away.
Yeah.
He was an older man, but he was the old herbalist, the classic old herbalist, that just had decades of experience.
Look, I love herbal medicine, and I'm herbs all the way. I don't use them as much anymore because of the cost of them.
Yeah.
That's why I love teas for people that can do it home, because you can still make a medicinal tea. But herbs are amazing. Like the traditions behind the herbs and it's just amazing. So I love them. And dandelion root's definitely a fave.
Like we love herbs. Like we were sitting in our desks, which are near each other, and I won't mention her name, came over and was a bit sick and had a flu. So guess what we gave her?
Andrographis.
Herbs.
Liquid herbs. Yeah.
She loved the taste of them, didn't she? Now I'm lying.
No. She said, it's very bitter. I'm like, yes, because it works on the liver.
Yeah.
It's another one that works on the liver.
Yeah, bitters work on the liver. So bitters are good for detox.
Yeah, really
I didn't
good.
put that on here.
No, I didn't either, actually. So, all right, do you want my number?
Yeah, I want your number
three. Number 3 tip. So lymphatic drainage massage.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like this one. And there is a lot of studies around it saying it's quite beneficial. This is good for people who, I guess, we're talking about different sort of populations and different sort of levels of detoxification, and someone who is quite toxic and perhaps someone who can't move around as much as someone else because they are quite sick. Lymphatic drainage can be amazing. It just helps to obviously move that lymph. As we said before, we need to have that lymph moving, and that can just help that along for someone who maybe is a little bit more sedentary because of they're not so well or they've got injuries or something like that. So really, I really like it. I've had lymphatic drainage done in the past.
I had it on the weekend.
Fluid. You had it on the weekend?
Yeah, I had a lymphatic massage on the weekend.
You?
Yeah.
You do feel amazing afterwards.
Oh, it's sedating. You get floods of serotonin in your brain. But yeah, it's very good because I'm an old. I tried. Did you do massage in your course?
No, so I didn't do massage. We did iridology.
Yeah,
as
I did
our elective,
massage.
not massage. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, we did massage at night, and it was so good because the first massage we did was lymphatic massage because it was you're pushing towards the heart and it's very gentle and you're rubbing on. It's kind of a weird technique that I still I don't massage anyone these days except the wife.
Yeah.
And I'm out of practice with it, but I reckon I'd still be confident if someone was there. I'd still give them a massage, that sort of thing. So.
Yeah, it's great, and people who can retain a bit more fluid. They're a little bit stagnant. It can be really good for that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So, it enhances cell membrane tone and functionality, which helps the cells to absorb more nutrients, helps them excrete their toxins more effectively.
Yep.
It improves circulation. Obviously, circulation helps to move toxins out of the body as well. And it helps, improve perspiration and that sort of thing. So I really love lymphatic drainage massage for people who really might need that extra kick and are struggling a little bit and, like I said, maybe can't move around as much or struggle with that fluid retention. That's I think that's a really good one.
That's a really good one.
And it's sort of accessible. Anyone can go and get a lymphatic drainage massage.
Lucky I didn't think of that one.
Yeah, lucky you didn't, Steve.
My third one's, again, we didn't set this up.
No.
We didn't set this up, but my third one.
We literally 100% didn't.
The third one you've actually got on right in front of you.
An apple, Steve.
Apple?
Oh, I forgot my apple. Is my apple in shot? Oh, see,
we
should explain the apple.
Oh, yeah, we better explain. We've got some snacks. I've got my nuts in front of me.
You have got your nuts in front of you. So one of our amazing staff here, she's handing out eggs to everyone because it's Easter.
Yeah.
And because we don't eat chocolate, we got our own treat. So I got an apple.
Yep.
And you got nuts.
I've got nuts. And, I've got some of them too in here. Okay, but if I look at this nut, it's an almond. And look at the colour of it. It's covered with something, and your apple's covered with something too. It's covered in skin.
Yes.
Why aren't the bugs eating that apple? That's full of moisture.
Starting with P, I'm guessing.
Starting with
moving
P.
in that direction.
Exactly. Polyphenols.
That's a good one.
Now, you might think, that's a gut thing. Yes, that's where most of your toxins are.
Yeah.
You've got to remember, around your gut, the polyphenols are things in plants that act like antimicrobials to prevent the stuff from going off. Like your apple in front of you now is beautiful and full of sugar and moisture, and the bugs, bacteria and everything would love that, but they can't get to it because there's a toxin on the outside, and I'll call it a toxin, called polyphenols.
Yeah.
Now, why are we recommending people eat toxins is because we've evolved to eat apples and those polyphenols, those toxins, and they're actually good for us.
Yeah, and they kill the bugs.
In our gut, the bad bugs.
Yeah.
So it's a really, really good, and you can get them in supplement form.
Yeah.
But let's just stick with foods. So, you said before all those healthy food diets and all that sort of stuff. Rich in polyphenols is a very, very important thing. So you're talking about spices and herbs and these sort of things that are rich in polyphenols that kill the bad bugs that make toxins. So we're cutting it off at the source.
Yes.
Did you like that one?
I love that one, actually, Steve. I didn't think about that
Lucky
one.
you didn't steal that one.
I didn't steal that one.
The next two are a little, but I'll get to them. So eat a polyphenol-rich diet. You can Google this stuff, but it's basically all the colourful, with all the skins and peels and herbs and spices and all those sort of things. Get your gut healthy. You can remember, around your gut, about 70% of your immune system's there. So there's so much going on in your gut. Huge lymph there that extract fat out of this. There's lots of stuff going on there. Make it as healthy as you can.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll help with constipation, help you, cleanse. So it is a detox chemical, I suggest.
Yes, 100% it's a detox chemical,
So that was my one. Now, what's your tip number 4?
So my next one is a culmination of eliminating toxins from your environment.
Oh, that's clever. I skipped over that bit, but this is good.
So endocrine disrupting hormones, chemicals, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So in your house, and this can be a really big task. So you might want to do this over the course of 12 months or even longer, depending. But things like cookware. So non-stick cookware. It's got all those
forever chemicals.
Forever chemicals in them. Plastic containers. People are still heating things in plastic containers. Scented candles and those plug-ins.
Yeah.
Room sprays, like won't name names, but the ones you can get in the supermarket.
Do people still use them?
Yeah.
They must do.
No, my partner, who doesn't listen to this, he does go buy those things, and then I throw them away.
It's like you're spraying chemicals into the air on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Scented garbage bags. Things are everywhere. They're everywhere.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, I've seen the lemon ones. Yeah.
Cleaning products, obviously, beauty products, that sort of thing. So you want to start eliminating a lot of these endocrine disrupting hormones, and there's lots of other chemicals as well. So these sort of things can affect, obviously, your endocrine system. They can have neurological and metabolic impacts, negative impacts that way. So there's a lot of studies to show that a lot of babies now are born with maybe deformities or developmental issues and things like that are from the chemicals that were in the mother.
Yeah.
So these things, are generational. So and they build up, and they can also make you fat because as you said before, what does the body do with toxins that it can't get rid of?
Yeah.
It stores them in fat cells.
Absolutely.
Swells the fat cells, obviously then impacts your hormones as well. So it creates imbalances there and creates metabolic issues as well. So really big issue. And people say, it's all this does not make a big difference. But you look at our world now has become so toxic than it was even 10, 15, 20 years ago. And these toxins are everywhere. So is it not better to have as least exposure to these things as possible?
Yeah.
So starting to eliminate what you can, because when we eat food, we're getting exposure. When we go walking outside, our food is grown in soils now that's had exposure to chemicals that with runoff and that sort of thing. So cars, pollution, so it's everywhere. So the more you can minimise that's around you, the better. So if you can start in your home and start to eliminate all these chemical toxins and start to bring in more natural products. And what I usually say to people is when something, don't go out and throw everything out. Well, you can if you want to, if you have the budget to do that. But when something runs out, so say a cleaning product or a beauty product or something like that, replace it with a natural product. And some of them are quite inexpensive now, and some of them are actually cheaper than some of the chemical products as well.
They're more popular these days, aren't they?
Yeah, they're everywhere. In the supermarkets, you can make up your own as well. Online, you can get little recipes to make up your own cleaning products using vinegar and lemon.
Bicarb, all that stuff,
sort of stuff. And then, think about everything that you're doing. Like I said, scented garbage bags are everywhere now. The scents, they can put off phytates and things like that as well. So
it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, so we're surrounded by these chemicals.
Yeah.
So the more that you can minimise your exposure, the better in the long run. So that's my number 4 tip, is start to look at what's in your environment, in your home, what you're using, what you're putting on your body, and work on replacing those with natural alternatives.
It's funny because number 4 for me is kind of following on to that. It's like we've timed this. It's a little bit
or something, Steve.
It's like, and I've written the words here: healthy diet. Now, healthy diet is about replacing all those good foods or bad foods,
yes,
sort of pesticide foods, with healthy foods.
Yes,
and just this is like a little bit common sensey, but let's say you're, let's say the worst case scenario. Let's say you go to work and you get McDonald's for lunch, which a lot of people do. Mm-hmm. Can you maybe just pack your own lunch? Look, even if it's a frickin' sandwich, it's better than the trans fats that you find. I mean, I'd rather you have a big salad and chop up some chicken or whatever, but forget that. Let's just move a little bit towards the right, the right area.
Across.
Graduate.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can upgrade that to salads and nuts and that. Don't go from McDonald's to salads because you won't stick at it.
Yeah.
You'll feel funny about it. So just try and take some foods and swap them out. Instead of having for morning tea, instead of having that pie that the van comes around and gives it to you, just pack your own food. Have some cold cuts, something that fills you up, and just try and these things. As I said, a lovely staff member here, she dropped us off some snacks. That is way better than any pie you'd eat.
Yeah.
Just pack them out.
100%. 100%.
It's like,
and you can pick them up from. They've got parts of the supermarkets now. We've got the go section.
Yep.
And it's got snacks on the go snacks that you can take for lunch. They've got soups, nuts, all that sort of thing. So
well, we've got in front of us apple and nuts. Let's just take them for an idea. Nuts are full of good foods, good healthy fats, but the fats stimulate the bile flow, which will help the liver detoxify. Yeah. The fibre in here helps you with your bowel movements, and the fibre in the apple. The polyphenols in the apple kill the bad bugs, and there's polyphenols in here from the almond skins, which are the dark brown stuff that's got rich in polyphenols. So this is a very good kind of just simple thing you can do. It's got loads of fibre. The apples are good for you and all that crap. But for detox, this is full of amino acids for detox.
Yep.
Arginine
detox, as we said.
So it's like all of a sudden, it's very simple. Yeah. And instead of harming your body with a pie, with the trans fats in the pastry, like typical Australian that I used to eat, meat pies all the time, you're actually substituting that with something that's really simple, probably cheaper, and way healthier in many levels, but mainly for detox. So that'd be my tip.
That's a good tip, Steve.
It's a good tip.
We 100% did not set this up.
All right.
My number 5 is food swaps.
Oh, my God.
I've actually written it on here.
Oh, well,
food swaps. I've gone a little bit different. So I've gone things maybe that you're using at home.
Yep.
So, and as you said, it's graduating across. So it's not like going, okay, you can't eat sugar anymore, so I'm going to have nothing at all. You graduate down, so you change. So things like refined sugar, high fructose corn syrups, really awful processed things like that. You can swap them out for things like raw honey. You still have some benefits of honey. So coconut sugar, maple syrup still has nutrients in it, stevia.
Yeah.
So you can start with that, and then you can move on to then eliminating sweet things altogether. Margarine, people still use a lot of margarine.
You see it everywhere, don't you?
Oh, it's horrible. So butter.
Yeah.
Natural. It's a natural product.
Tastes better.
Coconut oil, avocado. You can spread avocado, tahini, hummus. You can use those as spreads and things like that as well. Vegetable oils. I know you did a podcast on seed oils a while ago.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
They're a bit seedy.
Boom, boom. So change to olive oil.
Yeah.
Coconut oil, avocado oil. That's super easy. It just goes on and on. This is a good one. And as you said, with the polyphenols, Steve, condiments. So a lot of people put sauces on everything. Sauces are hugely high in salt and sugar.
Fructose sugar,
high fructose corn syrup and awful things like that. So you'd be surprised when you start to actually taste the natural taste. So salt and pepper, you'd be surprised how much that brings out the flavour of foods.
Yeah.
Salt brings out the flavour of food amazingly.
Oh, I love it.
So good. And then herbs, as you said, all your culinary herbs, so your rosemarys, your oreganos, your thymes. You can grow all these on your balcony if you don't have a garden,
I can grow
or
them,
in the
so
garden.
anyone can grow them.
High in polyphenols, as you said. A lot of them are antimicrobial as well. Add lemon, get some homemade pesto, make some basil and some pine nuts and all that sort of thing, and blend it all up and use those as sort of condiments, and they give you all the health benefits and you're not getting all the rubbish. So that's another one.
Wow.
Conventional animal products, I guess this one is more, dependent a bit on budget for people as well, but perhaps instead of having conventional, when I say conventional, it's, highly antibiotic, conventionally raised, so a lot of grain fed at the end, that type of thing. If you can get organic or even pasture raised is really going to be beneficial. And if it's a little bit too expensive, then have a little bit less, instead of having, say, red meat twice a day or every night, maybe have red meat a couple of times a week, get all good organic or good grass-fed, and then have chicken, some at least grass-fed chicken or something the other nights. So there's some really easy ones. If fish as well, canned fish, that sort of thing is a little bit less desirable.
Questionable, yeah.
Fresh fish where you can, and the smaller breed of fish, because they don't have as high mercury levels because they're seasonal. So salmons, things like that, cold water small fish breeds are really important as well. Coffee, if you want to get off coffee, and look, there's nothing wrong with coffee, and coffee can be really healthy. I guess if you're having, and I see clients that are having 6, 8, 10 coffees a day, which is probably a little bit excessive.
Little bit, yeah.
So the roasted dandelion root tea, Steve.
Oh, jeez.
It's a dandelion
You're
again.
in my heart there.
That's a really good one. And herbal teas and things like that can be really good as well. And even alcohol, if you're trying to get off alcohol. And I guess this is a harder one because as far as any swaps, it's a bit difficult. But sparkling mineral water with some, fruit or some mint or some lime or things like that, just to flavour it a little bit. So you're still getting sort of a cold drink that's a bit fizzy, and if you're trying to replace it. So there's a lot that you can do to start to graduate away from more these highly processed conventional type foods into more whole foods. So, and then little swaps you can make that are super easy.
Super.
Yeah.
Kind of following on to that, my last one.
Yes.
It's eat more protein.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, because you classically on one talked about the amino acids and all those sort of things, and I'll put here amino acids, but you could sort of say proteins really. Now increasing protein, healthy foods like nuts.
Yeah.
Thank you, the lady who did that. I won't mention her name.
Yeah.
But it's like that's great because that just actually it's about 25% protein. It's the same as a steak with all the good oils and everything, but. Protein is extraordinarily good for detox. If you saw me in 1995, it would have been, but soon after that, I think about 98, we started to learn that proteins were, I started learning that. And then all the protein powders that were brought out were for detox. And there was a product I helped formulate was Thermophase Detox, which is basically rice protein and a few other things. So it became known that protein was great for detox. And, they bind to the fat-soluble toxin and make it water-soluble.
Yes.
So, and increasing protein, look, we've crapped on about muscles and, it helps you lose weight and all this other stuff. But for detox, amino acids are extraordinarily healthy too.
Yeah, really important.
So you've got to have that. So try and get clean, healthy proteins, as you just pointed out, in your diet like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna kick goals.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're going to be healthier for many, many ways and many different levels.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we need to highlight that, as we said, detox and a specific detox can be good, done well and done correctly and with all the right nutrients and macronutrients and micronutrients in there. But, this is like an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
So all the sort of tips that we've talked about today, they're things you can add in every day, things you can start to change so that for the long term, you don't need to go and do a specific detox because your body is going, all your detoxification pathways and elimination organs are going to be healthy and the channels will be healthy. So your body will be able to eliminate a lot more of these toxins better, and then you're also reducing the toxins that you're taking in with the food and the environment. So you're exposed to a little bit less, so there's less burden on your body. So then it can deal with the other things that we really don't have any control over.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully there's some good tips in there people might be able to take away.
I personally don't do detox programs anymore because it's just my body is constantly detoxifying.
Yeah.
And if you're healthy out there, that's great. Now, to get started, we know the evidence shows that it does help. But what we'd like you to do is to get onto those programs. But if you're struggling with all this, and there's a lot of info we've given across, see a naturopath like yourself because they can tailor it. And they've got these products out there that have, like you mentioned, 1 million nutrients, and you can get them all in one sort of hit. And so there's plenty of those programs out there.
Yes.
Honourable mention, Silibum Marianum. I've got a mate of mine who's on that for years. He's had severe liver problems. He's fine now.
Yeah.
He just keeps taking it.
Yeah, it's a liver tropo restorative. It helps to restore the liver, so it's really good for that.
So there's lots of these things you can do if you want supplements, but try and get it all through your food. Yeah. And we're a supplement company.
Yeah.
And we're telling you to get it through your food.
Yeah. It's always food first.
Yeah.
Always food first. Because like we've said in the past, you can take all the supplements in the world, but if you're not doing all the right things, and the supplements are supplementary.
Yes.
So get everything else right. We say it all the time.
Yeah.
But diet is always first, and then supplements where we need. So yeah.
Amazing. And so implement some or all of these, not all maybe, but some of these or a lot of these into your day, and you'll be better off.
100%.
Great. Well, that's about all we've got time for, Nick.
It is. All right, I'm going to get you my apple now, Steve.
I'm going to go grab my nuts. I am.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Have a good one. See you next week.
Guys.